What's good, all my trader and investor homies? This is Touchdown Trades, the home of the best active swing trading and investing channel on all of YouTube. Yes, I'm claiming the crown. We're not the biggest channel, but we're the best, offer the most valuable information. Big investment firms typically only invest in large blue chip stocks as they're not looking for huge returns. If they can match what the S&P 500 is doing, they're cool with that. But Kathy Wood from Ark Invest takes a different approach. She looks for innovative, disruptive tech stocks that are going to go to the moon, baby. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two penny stocks that Kathy Wood and Ark Invest, the ETF that she manages, are currently invested in. These are two penny stocks that are involved in disruptive technology. When I mean disruptive, I mean disruptive. These are two game-changing penny stocks that we're going to be breaking down today. We're going to be analyzing why I believe Kathy Wood and her team have bought these positions in these small caps and these penny stocks. We're going to talk about the companies, their business model, the fundamentals, and whether these are good investments for long-term growth potential. Are they going to the moon or not? Kathy and Ark Invest believe that trying to be safe with your investments is counterproductive, and as do I. We love talking about EV because it's disruptive. We love talking about clean energy because it's disruptive. So today I thought, what better to talk about than two disruptive penny stocks that I see massive growth potential in. So in today's video, and as always, let's secure that bag by making smart investments, sound trades. Let's get it. All right, let's talk about my top two penny stocks that I'm looking to invest in for the beginning part of October. Ark Invest and Kathy Wood already are involved with these two penny stocks. If you're unfamiliar with what Ark Invest is, it is a fund management company that manages a couple ETFs. And most fund managers are going to be involved with your safer stocks, your big blue chip stocks. All their goal is to match the S&P 500. If a fund can match the S&P 500, they think they're doing a good job. Kathy Wood disagrees, and so do I. Kathy Wood believes in investing in disruptive technology, getting involved in small, disruptive tech before it takes off, and riding that wave to the moon. Her biggest holding in the RK fund was Tesla. Any other fund manager would have said that was too risky. Kathy Wood and RK bought it early. They rode it higher, and it paid off huge. So today we're going to be diving into two penny stocks that the RK fund owns and I believe have massive potential. Before we get started, do me a favor, do me a solid and destroy that like button for me. Go ahead and give it the Touchdown Trades snake eye jab. All right, let's jump right into ticker number one. Ticker number one, ONVO, ONVO Holdings, is a company that prints human tissue using 3D printers. Crazy technology. We'll dive into the tech in just a second. Kathy Wood and RK own over 800,000 shares of this penny stock. It has a market cap of only $41 million and a float of just 6.4 million shares. Kathy Wood and RK own 800,000 shares of this stock, so they own a good percentage of that float. ONVO has 3D printing technology that they use to literally print human liver, parts of the human liver, for people and patients who need liver transplants. The technology is crazy. It is still a very small company that only has 5 employees. Here we can see on their investor presentation, you can see the 3D printer right there, the Novogen bioprinters that they use to print human cells and human tissue for people who need liver transplants. So if once this technology evolves and it becomes mainstream tech, this company really has the potential to take off. Here are some of the opportunities that this company is targeting and marketing to. First, we got donor shortages are a significant and growing challenge in transplant medicine. So when you need an organ donor, you need a transplant, there is a long waiting list that you sit on, and you have to wait for a donor to either die or have an organ that they're willing to give you. So if we can get this technology up and running, that waiting list is gone, as these transplants can just be printed off the 3D printer and given straight to the patient that needs it. We have unmet medical needs, including rare genetic diseases growing. Unmet medical needs, including rare genetic diseases and liver disease. So their main target right now is liver transplant and printing off liver tissue. Postpone or reduce the need for transplant, lower patient care costs. So instead of using a actual human liver, they can print this 3D material off for much cheaper. Also, they think that they can reduce the number of needed transplants. They can maybe remove a part of the liver that's infected or useless, and they take that part out, they replace it with a 3D printed tissue, and then maybe that liver can be salvaged and no transplant is needed. So not only is this like the most disruptive tech ever, freaking printing off human tissue. If you would have told somebody that 20, 30 years ago, they would have thought you were crazy, but that's just the world we're living in now. Technology is getting to the place where 5, 10 years from now, there may be no more organ transplants. You may not have to wait on a donor list at all if you need a new kidney, a new liver, or possibly even a new heart. I've seen technology with company working on artificial hearts. That's just crazy. So I'm looking to get involved with this ONVO, as I love the technology. I think the company has potential. I think they may be a few years away from actually materializing on that potential, but I want to be holding this company as we progress and this tech develops. Also, the chart is looking pretty tasty itself. We've pulled back off the highs. We ran up all the way to $18 a share, and we've since pulled all the way back, and we're trading right above $6. We have tons of support at the $5.50 area, so I'm going to be looking to buy this thing into the $5 area on pullbacks, and I'm holding this for a long-term investment. I'll look for this thing to get back towards $11, $12, $13 a share before I start selling. The second penny stock that we're going to be discussing today is this XONE, the XONE company, ticker XONE. This is a bigger company, a bigger market cap, with a market cap of over $200 million. I still consider that a penny stock market cap, or at least a small cap. We have a pretty decent price to sales ratio of under 5 for a stock that's expected to have earnings per share growth of over 50% a year over the next 5 years. That is a pretty good price to sales ratio. ARK Invest is currently holding 2.5 million shares of this company in the ARK ETF. So they are owning a large percentage of this company, as there's only 13.85 million shares in the float. So ARK almost owns 20% of this company currently. So it's a high institutionally owned company. Also, I like the growth prospects as well. XONE is another 3D printing company, but in this case, they actually manufacturing the 3D printers themselves. They manufacture and build big industrial sized 3D printers. They offer both metal 3D printers that can print 3D metal parts, and I'll talk about why that's important in a second. They also offer sand 3D printers. Why do I think that 3D printing is going to take off more than I did a couple months ago? Because of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think the United States is going to look to build the smaller parts that we are currently importing from other countries such as China, because we don't want to do business with China as much as we did in the past because of what happened. I'm not saying the Tyrannosaurus Rex is China's fault, but the current administration is looking to shore up the supply chains because they're not wanting to import as much stuff from China. The Tyrannosaurus Rex pandemic showed us how much we depend on other countries for our PPE and other parts. Most of the small parts that any manufacturing company uses are going to be coming from China. And now that 3D printing is coming online, we're going to be able to manufacture those parts possibly in-house or in the United States. Here we have the market share. We have that prototypes account for $12.5 billion. We have models and tools, $30 billion. In-use parts, this is where the big money is. $490 billion. Think about all the small parts that can be manufactured using 3D printing. The potential is literally endless. Every single part that you have, just look at your desk right now, or look at your nightstand, wherever you're watching this video, and just pick up the closest thing next to you. I got an air duster here to spray on my computer to clean off the dust off of it. Think about all the parts just on this can that can be manufactured using a 3D printer. You got the little hose nozzle, you got the cap, all that stuff could be manufactured using a 3D printer instead of getting it shipped in from China or wherever. I know the tech is ways away. We're not there yet because it's just not ready. It can't handle the demand that we need it to handle. It can't just spit out parts. All right, let's talk about my plan with this XONE. I like this for a long-term swing trade. I'm not ready to invest in this company long-term like I am with the first ticker we talked about, ONVO. I am a big believer in the ONVO. This XONE, they have some financial issues. They have some issues that they need to straighten out on their books before I can invest in this company long term. I do like the technology. I do like 3D printing, but I'm just a bigger believer in the biotech aspect of the 3D printing because I think the assembly line aspect of 3D printing is years and years away. Sure, it can be used if you have like let's say a welding company, and one of your welders goes down and you need an obscure part for that welding machine. Sure, you could 3D print that instead of ordering the part from China, for example. But I think manufacturing parts for like wholesale, spitting out parts from a 3D printer, that's years and years away. So I'm more inclined to invest in the biotech aspect of it and ONVO, but this chart is setting up for a nice swing trade, and I do like that ARK Invest is holding a large amount of the shares, so the share structure is going to be very tight. If any good news comes into this XONE, the float is going to be so small that it's just going to rocket ship. And we've had a nice pullback down to this trend line support area. So I'm going to be looking to buy, risking off that $11 or $10.50 area, and I'm going to look for this thing to head back up to 15 or 15.50. This is just going to be like a month or 2 month swing trade for me and not a long-term investment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor and hit the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you're not yet a subscriber, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace.
Drop.